Hi, welcome to the second episode of Jeroboam's Underground Wine Club. My name is Ben Price with Ogo Initiative.
I'm Eric Russo with Russo's International Market.
And today we are searching for value Cabernet Sauvignon. Everybody's looking for that big red that they can get at a decent price. Today we're featuring two regions, one from Chile, one from Washington State. Both of them are under $15. We're going to give them a try, see what they taste like. We'll talk a little bit about it as we go. So without further ado, the Los Vascos Grand Reserve Cabernet from Colchagua Valley in Chile. And this is part of the Lafitte Rothschild estate in Chile. They make several higher-end wines. This is their Grand Reserve. This is the 2013 vintage. Every time we talk about wines, there are four things that kind of tell the wine story. It's what it is, the grape, where it's from, the terroir, when it was born or when it was made, the vintage, and then how it was made, or the winemaker, or the process. So we're going to talk a little bit about, this was aged 12 months in French oak, and it's all from their estate. What I see, what do we got? Really nice ruby color. Say right smack in the middle. Coats the glass really nicely.
Pretty thick legs.
Pretty thick legs. What's the alcohol? 14% on the alcohol. So not incredibly high for a cab. Cabs can sometimes spike up close to 15, or can be as low as 12.5. It's just a little high.
From the smell, I kind of thought it'd be higher than that.
Yeah. I don't remember to do that on the paper. This nose, just a hint of greenness. Do you get that? Like a little bit of like bell pepper or jalapeno pepper, some kind of.
Yeah, red fruit.
And then a lot of red fruit. Yeah. Yep.
Cranberry.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of cranberry.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of
maybe a little red plum.
Yeah, I'm getting a little red plum, a little red raspberry. I'm getting a little raspberry cuvee, kind of a raspberry, like a blended raspberry kind of flavor.
I get that like cigar box kind of smell from the oak too.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I was picking up from the wood, and it sounds about right. Want to give it a slurp?
Yeah.
So I get really, really nice, bright fruit for a cab. I feel like it's right on that red fruit, black fruit balancing point that a lot of these, when the good ones can really get that way. Great acidity and a good spice character to it. You get that, like that black pepper.
Yes. Yep.
Maybe just a touch hot. I can feel it in the going down.
Yep.
Some time in the bottle is going to do this guy wonders, both for tannins and for the alcohol.
I didn't think the tannins were overpowering at all.
No, but they'll definitely get more and more integrated, I think, with a little more time.
A little smoother.
But it is already delicious. I'm not getting a lot of the oak on the palate.
No.
It very much feels pure fruit to me, and terroir. Like it feels like that. You get more of the minerality of the soil than I got on the nose. You know, feels like there's a dirty element to it that I like. That might come a little bit from aging, from the oak, like that kind of leathery component.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be what
I was actually thinking more like tobacco. That's kind of what I got.
So, Chilean fruits often a little bit on the gamey side. Nice, a little bit more rustic in flavor usually. Usually does have a little more acidity than some other places. I like this wine. I like this.
Yeah,
This is, the body feels it's definitely a full body, but not syrupy at all.
No,
not thick. I don't feel like. And
I wouldn't say it was like jammy either.
No,
the fruit wasn't overpowering.
No, I think it's definitely in balance. Like I said, might be just a touch hot right now. But yeah, the more I drink it, I think the more that I think you're right. The tannins are in line. I don't think that they're. I think they're keeping everything in place. I don't find them out of place. So yeah, so let's go into a little analysis on some fun analysis. 13 bucks? Is that what this is? Yeah, I don't think there's a price tag on that.
$13.99.
$14. This is a weekday wine for me. If I'm having burgers or if I'm having steak or something on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'm feeling really good about cracking a $14 cab that's this tasty.
Yeah,
shoot, I don't feel like I have to have a meal at all with this.
I was going to say the same thing. This is something you can drink on its own.
Yeah, I feel like you can.
I actually was almost wanted to ask if it was really good for a steak or not.
Yeah, no, I think it's got, because of the pepper in it and because of the alcohol and because of the tannins that it does have and the acidity, I think all of that's there to complement food as well. But it's so well integrated that I don't find the food necessary. It's not going to be like an Italian wine that just has that piercing acidity or that astringency that you really need that food to kind of balance it out. As far as its age, maybe it's in the window, but it could be a touch immature still. Like, I mean, I think this is going to get better.
Yeah.
I still think it's got good years in front of it.
I would say it's ready to drink, but
yeah,
it could get better.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's. I don't think it's at its peak yet. All right, what would you eat with it? I think we talked about it a little bit already.
Yeah, I think the burgers, the grilling kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think even like ribs.
Ribs. Yeah, I was just thinking the spice pairs well with things. I was even thinking like more like brats or sausages, but like anything with a little bit more spice. Sometimes you don't want to mess with spice and tannic wines at all, but this has enough. A lot like Spanish wines, this has enough spicy elements of its own to kind of play well, as long as it's not really, really hot. But yeah, so barbecue, those kinds of things. I think this is perfect for that kind of perfect for the grill. As soon as it gets warm enough, grill. And who's the company you want to share this with?
I don't think it's anything like crazy special. Like, I don't think there's a special occasion. It's like you said, it's an everyday wine.
But this is the kind of wine you could get out with a group of guys and not get made fun of.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
this is a guy's wine. I think, not that girls can't drink it. Like, my wife would enjoy this wine quite a bit. But like, if you're getting, this is a great tailgate wine. This would be probably a good wine depending on what you're serving for the big game. Anything like that. I think this is
Super Bowl wine.
Yeah, this is that kind of a wine. Who's gonna love it? I mean, cab lover. I think cab lover, people who just like cabs are. I mean, this is kind of a classic in the varietal. I think people who like people who drink a lot of Spanish wines, Malbecs, would like this.
Yeah,
I would think. Malbec drinkers. This reminds me a lot of some Malbecs I've had. Who's gonna hate this? I mean, if you're really averse to tannins, maybe, or if you're very sensitive to the higher alcohol wines in general, but because I definitely wouldn't call it soft.
No.
But it's not offensive at all. I feel like it's quite good. What's your score on this?
Yep.
This is a yep wine for me, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be opposed to having a few of these in my cellar just to pull out on certain occasions. This is a wine I want to drink more than once. And then for value judgment, it's a great bargain, worth its money, or paying premium.
I think it's a great bargain.
It's a great bargain. I agree. Like, it is. We all know that feeling of it being a little bit hard to find that under $20 big red that you're looking for. And I think this cab does it. So,
yeah.
Cheers, man. Another good wine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and dump the rest of that there. Stay fresh. All right, number 2, Washington State This is Columbia Crest H3. Horse Heaven Hills, that's what H3 stands for. This is their 2014 vintage. Columbia Crest been around a long time, makes a lot of wine. This is a big producer, make over 200,000 cases, and yet every year they seem to make a wine that scores well and is generally liked. So,
and this is their upper.
This is their middle. This is kind of their middle tier. Yeah, they've got some reserve ones, but this is, you know, so they have like this is their $13.50, I think, $14 wine. Again, Columbia Valley, very classic red wine region. Especially good place to find value. That's why we picked these two, because they're both places you can find good wines for less money than you find their comparables in other parts of the world. What do you see?
It's a lot darker.
Yeah, definitely the color is a little more towards that blackish, dark purple, even more violet around the edges. What do you say? Makes me think it's going to be more black fruit than red fruit.
Yep.
On that, doesn't feel like quite as thick. Not as quite as thick on the legs. They're coming down pretty quick. What's the alcohol on that? See, the alcohol's 14.5, so it's a little bit. It's even more alcohol, but that's interesting because it does feel a little thinner on the.
The legs lied to us.
Yes. Well, they're not. They're not. Won't be the last time. Smell. Much riper fruit.
Sorry, I cheated.
Yeah, that's right. he hasn't had this either, so.
No.
Really ripe. Black plum, blackberry.
Yep.
Cassis, that classic cassis flavor that maybe a little like eucalyptus or mint. Like I get a little bit of that, those kinds of herbs in it.
Yeah, I don't think I can pick that out on my own, but I can say that.
Maybe a little.
I feel like this isn't nearly as aromatic as the last one was.
It isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very.
I feel like it's harder to.
Yeah,
get.
It's definitely feels a little more constrained and a little. I think it's actually a little more constrained maybe by the oak as well. I don't know what this is, but you definitely get a little bit more. A little of the cocoa. You definitely get cocoa on it, and maybe even a little vanilla. That would both be kind of indicators of the oak in the wine. You want to try?
Yeah.
Another try?
Yeah.
Fruit for days.
Yes.
Fruit for days, and then this finishing of like cocoa powder. Just coats my tongue. Like if you're ever like cooking with cocoa powder, like not like anything sweet, like that dry cocoa flavor.
Yeah, your tongue's got that kind of chalkiness.
Yep.
Definitely that black fruit comes through that we smell for sure.
So the difference here, I mean, 50 cents difference in price, but the characters of these wines are completely different. This is red fruit, peppery, gamey, more acidity. This one still has plenty of acidity though. I don't think it's missing, but definitely ripe fruit.
Less tannin.
Yeah. Maybe just different tannin. I don't even know if it, because that drying, you get that drying effect in your mouth. That's a result of tannins, but they're sweeter. They're like a sweeter tannin or a finer tannin. It's kind of the absence of pepper, I think, is what I get out of the first. Like the second one is like the absence of the spice. And it kind of replaces it with more chocolate or cocoa notes, and then just really ripe fruit.
I feel like this one's a little less full-bodied. It's still full-bodied, but not as far as the Vascos.
I think it drinks a little bit lighter. It doesn't. It definitely contains its alcohol. I think outstanding. Like I think even though the other one had more alcohol,
it doesn't feel.
This
hot.
one doesn't taste hot at all to me. I think it's definitely kind of, even though it's younger too. I mean, this is a 14 versus a 13, and I feel like it's right on the. Boy, that's really yummy stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. Again, same price. It's going to be the same thing for me. This is a weekday wine. This is a wine you can enjoy anytime, anytime you need it. It's aged. I think this is definitely a drink earlier wine. Like this is already at its peak in its window. It's not going to have as long of a life, probably, as this, as evidenced by probably the lesser tannins, and it's ready to go now. I think it's in its peak already, even this young. What would you eat with it? This one's a little harder. This would definitely be first a drink alone wine for me, I think. But the things I think of are like
you can easily drink on its own.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like cheese, like cheese dishes, things that are like
a rich cheese, right?
Oh, I would think so. Yeah. Like or like a casserole, like anything with cream, or that has a little more of a salty edge to balance the sweetness in the wine. I feel like I think it's good with sausage. That kind of stuff would go really well. Again, you probably could get away with like pulled pork, that kind of thing. It's not so big that I think that it would push around like a pork chop. It is probably too big for something like a pork tenderloin. Company. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I at least me personally, I wouldn't have this on the steak. That's for sure.
No, I think it's probably. I mean, you know what? You eat and drink whatever you want to eat and drink. We're not here to tell you what to do. I think probably there are better wines for steak, and there are better foods for this wine. Who do you want to drink it with, though?
I kind of go back to the same thing. It's an everyday wine. It's something, company or no company. Yeah. You have no problem breaking open.
This is a wine that my wife and I would love together. Like we would love to just sit and enjoy this one together. It's definitely a couple's wine.
I was gonna say, I actually think this is an approachable cab for my wife. She doesn't like the big bold reds, but I actually think this is one that would be one that maybe she would at least have some interest in.
Who's gonna love this wine? I think Napa lovers will love this wine. Yeah. If you like Napa cabs but don't want to spend Napa price all the time, this is a great option for you.
If you're like the really fruit forward style.
Yep. Shiraz drinkers from Australia will like this. People who are new to red wines, I think. Yeah. It's full-bodied, but it's not unapproachable.
Yeah.
Who's going to hate it?
People who are looking for something bigger, I think.
Bigger or more acidic. Like, if you really want that old world. Yeah, if you're looking...
just won't like that.
Burgundy and Bordeaux people, for two different reasons, will probably be turned off a little bit by this. If that's really what they're into. This has definitely got a lot of juice up front, but I still think the acidity to back it up. Like I think there's enough there. What's your score on this?
Yep.
Yeah, this is bordering on a wow wine for me.
Really?
I do. I think that, and maybe it's because I know too much. I know the price and I know how much they get out, how many cases they put out. But to be able to put this kind of quality out on a, at that kind of volume is pretty impressive. But I'm never not impressed when I drink it. I feel like I just want to keep going back for a little bit more. So I highly recommend this wine. And value judgment, great bargain, worth the money, paying premium.
Great bargain.
This is a great bargain. I think for those that like that style, this is outstanding.
Yeah, it's hard to find a cab at that price. That's good. Mm-hmm. These two.
So you got two different styles here.
These two are at that price point. The best wines we have, probably best cabs we have in the store right now. Yeah,
I'd say I haven't had a lot that weren't already like closed out that are this kind of value. So, so here you go. You can drink big cabs on a limited budget. $14, $13.50, two different styles for different folks. When this goes up, put your comments in. If you have other suggestions, things you want to see, please let us know. We're going to keep pumping these out. And until next time, cheers.